My name is Cillín Hearns. I'm a leadership and performance coach, and I work with teams and individuals to help them make lasting change. In this series, I'll be working with everyday New Zealanders to help them overcome whatever it is that's holding them back in their life or their career, ultimately enabling them to go from stuck to unstoppable.
I feel stuck. I'm doing good enough, I'm doing okay, but I'm not fulfilling my potential.
So I met Alan a few years ago when I was delivering a resilience training workshop for a large government organisation. When we caught up, he shared that he had this propensity for sabotaging himself, and he doesn't know why he does this.
Alan and I are friends. I met him through work. He's fun and friendly, and he's also very authentic and very open about how much he loves his wife and his dog. I have a lot of respect for Alan. He's pushed through some tough stuff with amazing resilience.
About 3 years ago, I had a tumour in my pituitary gland that hemorrhaged, and it caused a brain injury. There was an epiphany for me. The person I was not the person I want to be. I need to stop and put that old Alan behind me and leave him there. He's no longer my future. I was born in Hawke's Bay, Māori father, Pākehā mother. Spent a lot of time with my grandparents up until I was about 5. From then we moved to Wanganui with mum and dad, and I moved down here to Wellington in 1990. I don't really regard myself as a Wellingtonian yet. Still a Wanganui boy at heart. Maybe the wind's got something to do with that. I'm into competitive archery. I've been doing that for about 6 years now. I hold the national record for the long distance event, and I'm also the president of the local archery club here in Lower Hutt.
In the same way that if we broke a finger or another part of our body, we'd develop ways of avoiding any pain or discomfort for that area to allow it to heal, we also do the same for emotional pain. This often presents itself as fear or anxiety, and they're referred to as secondary emotions. There's an underlying emotion that we're trying to avoid. In Alan's case, it seems like this underlying emotion is disappointment.
I sit in the car on the way home and I think, that was crap. You could do so much better, and you know you can do so much better. So what's stopping you? I would rather be driving home from work and saying, you had a great day, man, you nailed that. Being an empath, I feed from that energy. It makes me feel like I'm in a good spot because I've helped other people.
When I reconnected with Alan after all these years, he shared with me how he had the surgery to remove the tumour from his pituitary gland. Certainly it inspired him to want more from life. He's really been stretching himself and putting himself outside of his comfort zone. But he wants more. What we're going to do today is we're going to work with Alan to help take him from being stuck to unstoppable. But for now, I'm going to go get myself an archery lesson. Good to see you again.
You too, man.
So you're going to turn me into an archer?
Well, I'm going to try.
You've got your work cut out for you, I tell you that much.
All right, man. There's only one place to start, and that's right here.
Sounds good.
Let's just get that on there to begin with. Now, when you grab the string, you want one finger above the arrow, 2 fingers beneath. When you pull the string, you're going to touch this part of your thumb to the underside of your chin. Pulling back that string until it's onto your jawbone and dropping the string. Boom. Should have known you'd be a legend at this straight away. Line up the dots and drop the string. Well, Cillín, that was your first archery lesson. Tomorrow you're going to feel it in the muscles, across the back and the shoulders, maybe even this one too.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Alan. How about we swap roles?
Sounds good.
Let's go have a chat. So after I met Alan at the archery range, we went and we found a quiet spot to focus on our coaching session. To help Alan remove that emotion of disappointment, we wanted to get Alan in the right frame of mind, to help him allow his unconscious mind to come to the fore, to get above his problem so that he can look at it from a more objective viewpoint. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. That's it. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine lifting yourself up above now. So once Alan was in a more relaxed state, we were able to help him identify that very first event that he can remember experiencing that feeling of disappointment. What age were you?
2.
You're 2 years old. Okay, so this memory seems quite vivid in your mind.
Yes.
Once we help Alan change the meaning associated with that event, it can't help but change the emotion that was associated with it. And when you're ready, I want you to imagine floating all the way back, way up high, nice and safe, looking down on top of that event when you were 2 years old. What is it that your unconscious mind needs to learn from this event, the learnings of which will allow you to let go of this emotion today?
Nobody had a bad outcome intended. Nobody deliberately wanted to harm me.
So I know that you know that 2-year-old Alan might have been missing a particular resource that would have been useful for him back then. What do you think that resource is?
Knowing that he can be alright through it.
Knowing that he'll get through this. So what I want you to do now is I want you to imagine passing that resource from yourself all the way down into 2-year-old Alan. I also know that you know that those other players in that situation may also have been missing a particular resource. What do you think that resource is?
A communication strategy. Empathy.
Communication strategy, empathy. I want you to imagine passing those resources from yourself all the way down into the other players in that situation. And notice how that changes everything now. So now that Alan has been able to look at that event through a different lens, he's able to create a new meaning around that event, which has allowed him to let go of that emotion. So let me just check. Is the emotion still there, or has it disappeared now?
It's disappeared.
Once he's done that, we ask Alan to store all those new learnings from that event into that space where he can recall those learnings at any time he needs to in the future. And the last piece of this exercise is to allow Alan to come back along his timeline all the way back to now, and as he does, to clear up any related events that may have led to a similar type of emotion. And once he's above now, we ask Alan to project into the future, imagining what life would be like without carrying all of this baggage. And only as quickly as you can realise that those changes will continue to expand out into your future, I want you to come on, back down onto the bench and back to now. Welcome back.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
So Alan, you know I always give homework.
Oh, good.
But all I want you to do is, I just want you to notice what's different over the next few weeks.
Sure.
Okay. Because when we make a change in one area of our life, we can't help but make changes in other areas. And I don't know what that will be for you, but I just want you to pay attention to those changes.
Sure.
Terrific. So we're going to check back in about 3 or 4 weeks just to see how you're getting on. And in the meantime, do you have any questions for me?
No. It's just some introspection and some observation that I've got to start doing.
Fantastic. Alan, it's been a real pleasure. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, mate. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
I am really excited. There's a lot for me to look forward to. Just moving forward and being more positive in my approach in general to a lot of things. Interestingly, a few things have changed for me. I'm a tidier kind of a person. I'm a do it now if you can do it now, whereas I used to procrastinate with small stuff. And that could have been anything like doing the dishes or folding the washing or stuff like that. You know, I'd sort of like let it build up, and then now look at what I've got to go and deal with. Whereas if I just deal with it early, deal with it small, it's done within minutes and I can carry on with my day. I'm finding a lot of fun now in just my day-to-day things as well.
He was saying to me the information and the help that he's got from Cillín is really showing up in his everyday life. So in different situations that he finds himself in, he's reminded of the information and the help and the tools that Cillín's given him. He's doing really well.
I guess the biggest insight I've gained is that when I'm in an interaction with somebody, I've got to have an outcome in mind and I've got to be authentic to it. The steps within myself that I've found, the levels, I've got a depth of personality that I wasn't really aware of or I wasn't making use of. I've got further and further that I can reach. I've got a deeper set of tools. I would get confused, I would get insecure. Now a lot of that stuff it's behind me. It really doesn't matter that much. I've got bigger things in mind.
Alan, it's good to see you again, and it's been a few weeks since we last caught up. How are you getting on?
You're really good, thinking. I've been able to take a pause and step back and look at the way that I deal with situations and move through them in a much healthier manner.
So it sounds like we've been able to help you achieve your goals, and we've largely done that by helping you remove that old feeling of disappointment. You've been able to move through life freer, less constrained.
Yes, absolutely. I will give anything a try now. Regardless of the outcome of the attempt, there's no room for disappointment anymore. There's only room for improvement.
Well, that's fantastic. That's really fantastic. Thank you so much for being part of this episode. It has been a real pleasure working with you. This is where we part ways, but don't be a stranger. I'd love to stay in touch, and feel free to give me a call at any time in the future.
Thank you very much, Cillín.
It's been really great working with Alan, and I'm delighted that we've been able to help him remove those obstacles that were causing him to feel stuck. Join us next time when we meet Kim, who feels that she's an imposter and she's not as good as those that she works with. Just like with Alan, we'll take Kim in one session from being stuck to unstoppable.